leaders against one another. And if someone is hurt in the line of duty, error that's been happening on the north side, on the south side, here with respect and dignity as we work through these tough issues. Welcome to the Damien Jones Podcast. I'm your host, Damien Jones. Doing this episode full audio. So if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or whatever visual platform, you'll just see my avatar. Those who are listening in audio don't even know what I'm talking about. But happy to be with you again. I think it's crazy important that we talk about Travis Scott and the horrific tragedies that happened at his annual concert series in Houston. You know, Travis Scott is from Missouri City, Mo City, the Houston area. So this concert series, this Astro World series and festival is really big and important for him. It's really big and important for the city. I know Mayor Turner kind of spearheaded this. And so it is something that the city has really embraced. And so let me just first say my deepest condolences to all the families affected, those who were injured, trampled, but especially those families of those 8 persons who did not make it. And as I understand, there's also a 9-year-old still in the hospital fighting for his life. And so let's just keep those folks in our thoughts and prayers and pray feverishly for those families and their healing. But if this is your first time watching, listening, give me a like right now. Share this broadcast. Comment and let me know what you think about the subject matter. But is Travis Scott canceled? Is Travis Scott canceled? And you know, I don't believe in this cancel culture and this cancellation thing, but I want, but just entertain me for today, as you know, because I think I spoke it in a language where I think a lot of people can understand. Is Travis Scott canceled? Why would you ask that question, Damien? Is because I'm reading all over social media and other platforms about the questions are coming now. Who's liable for this mess? Who's liable for these tragedies? How could we have prevented something like this from happening? How could we have had those 8 people still with us today? And so the finger pointing has started. And a lot of people are pointing their fingers at Travis Scott, this massive entertainer. And so I got a lot of levels of questions I want to ask about this and positions that I have about this. So I'll just go down the row here. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I don't have a note in front of me. I think this conversation is really coming from my heart and from a passionate place. And before I get into that, let me just say this though too. I had a really good conversation with my friend and scholar and thinker, Don J. Malone, who is an awesome, brilliant scholar in the city of Houston. And we had a conversation a few days ago about this. It was supposed to be an episode of the podcast, but somehow the technical and our audio came out really trashy, and I just couldn't put it out because it wasn't high quality. But you'll hear from Dawn in some of our coming conversations. But I just want to say that and say thank her for giving me her time on the other day. But a few questions about this Travis Scott conversation. One, who's liable? Let's talk about that for a second. Is Travis Scott liable for this? People are saying that he has created a culture where he incites uh, unruly behavior at his concerts. I think dating back from years and years, there's plenty of footage. Even the promotional video for this year's fest seemed to promote unruly and crazy and just overly excited behavior. One, so is Travis liable? His name's all over it, so one would think so. Number two, is the Harris County, is the county liable? Because one, I think very strange that the county lowered the COVID threat level from red to orange, maybe like Thursday or Friday, like right before this concert of 50,000 people. And on top of that, permits were already signed. Harris County also oversees the NRG Center where this concert took place in the parking lot. And so they were aware, they played a part. Is the county liable? How much liability goes on to the city of Houston, where the city also has to provide permits for this particular um, festival, especially a festival of this size? I want to remind you, 50,000 people at this festival. And so is the city liable for this? Mayor Turner, HPD played a part in security in some type of way. Mayor Turner has said that they followed all proper protocols. I think he even released all the permits and things of that nature, and seems to have been very forthcoming about this process. HPD Chief Fenner has spoken about the facts and the other details of what happened. He even spoke about the possibility of random people with syringes sticking people in the neck and injecting them with some type of substance or drug, and that may have played a part in some of the mayhem that we saw. Is the county liable? Is the city liable? Is Travis Scott liable? Who's responsible for this tragedy, this mayhem? Now, we're seeing lawsuits after lawsuit after. I've been talking to lawyers the last couple of days, personal injury lawyers, and they say that this is a lawyer's dream. They say this is easy money. This is a layup because there was so much clear malfeasance and negligence here. And so I think that to my knowledge, about 40 lawsuits have already been filed. Tony Busby is all over this. Ben Crump is running ads in the city of Houston. I'm seeing Facebook ads. Every lawyer wants a piece of this easy money, right? But here's one point I want to lift up about this. Now, I just don't believe the concert should have happened. We are in an era of COVID, number one. Number two, our threat level in this county was just red a week ago. We also know that county and city officials canceled the annual rodeo, right? Those of you who live in the city of Houston who have been in the state of Texas know how big our rodeo is, and it was canceled last year and this year. But somehow this concert was given the green light. 50,000 people. Even our former county judge Ed Emmett even made a great point. He said, since Harris County is sanctioning big concerts and sporting events, then why aren't our local courts wide open for business? That's another good point. And so it seems like maybe we're picking and choosing based on maybe our financial leanings or our political leanings or revenue leanings, what we will allow in this county, in this city, and what we won't, right? What I will say, though, is that from the images we saw from people running through barricades at the ticket gate, it was some mayhem. That's whoever's in charge of the security team, Live Nation. A lot of folks need to be fired. A lot of folks need to be fired. I don't know what went on through your walkthroughs. I don't know what was in your contingency plan, your safety plan, but it did not work. And a lot of people should be fired. Families are now going through some deep grief. And it's just an unfortunate happening. Very, very. Tell me what you think down in the comments. Is Travis Scott canceled? Is Travis Scott liable? Who's liable for this? Is the county liable? Is the city liable? Houston Fire Department Chief Pena said that everybody's liable in this thing. Everybody is liable. Right? Now, if this I would have thought that it's better they do this concert. Now, the way they did the concert, it was in the parking lot of NRG Arena where the Texans played. So it was in the parking lot. And so everybody, all 50,000 people on one level, looking up to this gargantuan stage. But my position is, if they had it inside a venue where everybody had a seat, I mean, the same music would play, people would enjoy it just the same, but I think that would be just a tad bit safer. Nobody can get trampled. There can be no real crowd surging like that, right? And so I just think there are a lot of things that were looked over. A lot of I's not dotted and T's not crossed to ensure that something of this magnitude would happen. Now, Travis can't control what people do at his concerts to an extent. Now, they're going to listen to his every word and hold on to his every word. And when he says raise your hands, they're going to raise their hands. When he says say ho, hey, they're going to do that as well. But there are also sometimes people that have unruly behavior and they're just excited for the moment and things get out of hand. And that's why you have levels of security to take care of that situation. But for sure, heads are going to roll. Travis Scott is not canceled. Travis Scott will be fine. Travis Scott will pay what he needs to pay. He will pay for the funerals, all those different types of things. He didn't mean for this to happen. Nobody wants this kind of thing to happen at their concerts, but it's unfortunate. But he will be fine. Let's continue to pray for those families as they work through this difficult time. The lawsuits will work themselves out, and who's liable? I don't, hey, if something was looked over or mistakes made, it'll come out in the media at some point. But I think it's just best that we focus on helping these families heal and moving forward. Okay. Make sure you like this broadcast, share this broadcast. You can catch us on Spotify. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts as well. Subscribe right now. I need one subscriber, and I hope it is you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Continue to live your life with intensity, integrity, and intelligence. Appreciate you, my friends. This is the Damien Jones Podcast.